Yes, glad to be here today on the Roundtable on Ogtv. It's another beautiful day, and I say Happy New Month and the Roundtable. Yes, a lot of issues surrounding what we're discussing this morning, and no country, no country is left out in the discussion. Across all nations of the world, we've been having, security problem is a global issue, and countries have continued to invest fortunes, to combat or kind of control the problem, counter the challenge. And it's been an ongoing conversation talking about the challenges of security, the threats, the challenges, the vulnerability and risk. And that's why, we're talking about different means, different ways of finding solution to this. Yes, when we're relying on conventional way of securing life and property, we should also talk about, the advancement in technology to an extent have been of great deal to countries of this world. And that's how I will be welcoming you to another beautiful episode of this program this morning. My name is Mureni Keji Shobaloju. Of course, I'm not doing this alone all by myself. I have with me in the studio as well my co-discussant who will be, we'll be doing the discussion together doing Sola Ogunbadewa.
Good morning. Good morning, KZ.
Nice
Hope
having
you are good now.
Yes,
I can see that
I'm
you're so
fine.
strong.
I'm fine.
Thank
God
you for you. And my people, good morning. Welcome to Roundtable. It's another edition, and you know what we do. We discuss issues germane to the society and everyone at large. Like today, we're talking about security. When we say that security is not important, we have to secure everything. Everything securable. So that is why we're here this morning to talk about emerging security technologies. So just sit back and make sure you're tuned to People's Telly, OGTV, to enjoy this edition.
Like we do on the program, yes, you know that it's our style every day on the program, every week. We'll go for this short break, and when we return, our resource person is in the studio. We shall be introducing him after this break. It's a short water break, and we'll be back to introduce who our guest is in the studio. Yes, like she said, we're looking at emerging technologies in security. Yes, talking about exploring emerging security technologies. That's what we'll be looking at this morning, and a resource person is here, an expert at that. He will be talking to us on what should be done to combat security issues. Join us after this timeout.
Security and safety of everyone in our immediate environment is our collective responsibility. There is the need to take observation of what is going on in our society. Report any suspected criminal activities to the law enforcement agencies. To make our society safe, we need to come together and remember that the safety of the society is our collective responsibility.
Glad to have you join us again. And before we went for that short break, we were talking about our topic today, which is security related. And of course, we have in the studio our guest experts in this field. And we're talking about Prince Akintoye Olushola Akerimade. He is a security expert and of course a CCTV operator, and is based also not in Nigeria. Of course, he's been doing this and practicing outside Nigeria. He should be able to tell us something about exploring emerging security technologies. Today, join me as I welcome in the studio this morning Prince Akintoye Olushola Akerimade. Good morning, Prince.
Good morning.
Nice having you join us.
Pleasure.
Yes, a lot we are going to talk about this morning. Doing Sola, our guest is ready for us this morning, right?
I can see.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Okay, let me quickly begin from this, critical matter that we were talking about this morning. Yes, it's a critical threat for every person to understand that an insecure nation, yes, gives a lot of unrest to the people, the masses, the citizenry are not finding it easy when there is a lack of security. But what are the top, do you think are the top security threats that one can think about that would be so challenging?
Okay, let me first by saying this. I'm a CCTV operator, and I also work as security guard coordinator with London Security Guard. So the first process for me was I joined the training as SIA. So there's something we call SIA in United Kingdom. It is called Security Industry Authority. So you go through the training first. The training is a week training, and the license is for 3 years. After that, there are some courses you have to go through, which qualifies you to, because the certification is very important, and the knowledge, you understand. So in London, in most of our things, we don't really use human manpower. Like in my own firm, what we basically use is advanced CCTV. We use advanced CCTV, we use drones. So with drones, it is easy to monitor any crime around. And of course, CCTV, when you have someone, in the control room who monitors the affairs of the building or the office, it's easier to curb any crime. Then we also have something called biometric automating system. This this prevents intruders from having access to buildings.
Okay, you're talking about the beauty of technologies already, and it's good. Fine, for Nigeria being a peculiar country to an extent, when we talk about security challenge, we've had a bite of the cherry for some period now, talking about terrorism, trafficking of humans, and all stuffs that will be threatening lives and property. But when we have this peculiar problem, are you saying that in a way this technology could be of help to combat the problem?
Okay, for me, the advice I would give when it comes to Nigeria is, first of all, security personnel need to go through proper training. There are training, like in London, we have something called ACT. ACT is the training against terrorism. So with this, every security personnel will have knowledge of how to handle situations. Do you understand? Then the issue of drone, yes, drone can be used to curb all of this, because if you have an advanced, drone, it is easy to monitor whatever is happening around. The same thing with CCTV again. If you have, okay, let me give an example. I was in Lagos last week, and I observed there are some, street lights that had cameras. These cameras, I know it is used as, a means for traffic crimes, but it can also be used for general crimes, to monitor crimes. It cannot only, serve for traffic lights, but generally it can be used to minimize the rate of crime in the country. So I strictly, advise the use of CCTV to be able to monitor crimes in Nigeria.
Okay, talking about exploring the emerging security technologies, can you just tell us some of the emerging technologies that can be used to secure lives and property?
Okay, so example of one of the security technologies that I just mentioned is drone.
Yeah.
You can use drone, you can use CCTV, the facial recognition. There's something we call facial recognition. It can also be used because this prevents intruders from having access to buildings or to any industries. You understand? We also have license plate recognition. This also works as the biometric authorization. It's the same thing. The only thing is the license plate is more advanced than the facial recognition.
Okay, let's talk about causes of insecurity now.
Okay.
When you want to look at it holistically, you know, we're talking about having security problems in countries. It is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. There are countries across the world that are also, you know, challenged when talking about security. We have the Ukraine-Russia crisis and all other countries that you can talk about. But it's just that the security parameter that when you want to measure it varies as regards a country. But now, what do you think are the causes? You know, let's talk about the causes of insecurity where you want to, you know, deal with this. Let's just identify the causes first.
Well, the causes of insecurity depends on the country. So for me, I think in Nigeria, most of the causes here is hunger. Yeah, it's hunger. Yeah, poverty, hunger, you know. And sometimes, because even in London, we have a lot of homeless who go into crimes because they cannot feed. So in that case, I think what the government just need to do is, like there was a time the London government created home for the homeless. They were picking them from the street, they take them to the homeless, they give some of them education, those that are willing to go to school, those that are willing to learn, you know, work. They were creating avenues for them for all of this. So the causes of the security differs, I mean, with the regional location of the I mean, wherever it is happening.
It's exactly. Ineffective policing somehow seems to be on the pages of when you kind of you know, research into this majorly. It's been pointing at ineffective policing. Like you said, you believe that technologies would do better than, you know, adopting the use of a conventional way of securing, that's using the security agencies. So now I'm saying that in my own research, I got to see that ineffective policing has been one of the major problems confronting countries. Do you agree with this, or do you think we should just throw away the activities of these security agencies and face technology outrightly?
Yeah, I agree with you, because when you talk about ineffective security, I mean policies, you know, it's you know, I talked about training. Like in Nigeria now, we have more of human manpower. You see a lot of, I mean, uniformed men outside. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not saying they are not trained, but regularly they need to go through some online courses, online training. Do you understand? Like, let me give an example. Last month, before I came to Nigeria, my company, we dished out courses to every security guards on site for them to go through. And apart from giving you courses to do, you need to write an exam, and it's online. And so if you don't pass the exam, it means you didn't go through that course. So I strongly believe going through all these courses will help, I mean, every security personnel to be proactive in, I mean, the day-to-day activities.
Okay, my colleague is already taking you to the solution that we can find to the security threats. But I still want us to talk about some of the emerging technologies, because in my research I know that we have some few ones, especially the common ones like the AI, that is common, and we have some other ones like Internet of Things, and maybe another one like cloud security or something. So would you like to just let us into some of these, so that people will know that, okay, these are the new emerging technologies, and what can be done with each of them?
Okay, yes, I agree with you as regards to the AI and all. But the truth of the matter is these technologies are very, very expensive. To acquire them, they are very expensive. That's the honest truth. So Like in London, what we do is we call on private security sectors to support the government to acquire most of these technologies.
That can be done here too.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Nigerian government is able, is capable of doing that.
Yeah, Nigerian government is capable,
And we even have private.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
We can't expect the government to do everything for us. So what we can do is to reach out to private sectors that we know they can afford it. Because of course, I know that there are private security sectors in Nigeria. So it's just for us to reach out to them. They can liaise, with the government on acquiring some of these things. We have something we called body-worn cameras.
Okay.
Body-worn cameras also can be, they can acquire it for, like in London, most of the police, they have body-worn cameras, which, prevents crimes, because once a criminal knows, a security officer has a body-worn camera, he will run away. He will avoid anything to do, because that stands as an evidence.
How prevents crime.
Yeah. Okay. And it stands as evidence. Even me, most of the time when I go on supervision on sites, I used to put it on for, so that we have evidences on whatever is going on. And most people, they're always scared when they see that you have your camera on.
Okay, what about the Internet of Things? What does that mean?
Okay, so
and what is it used for? Okay,
so for the internet, most of the time, what they use it for is to report. It might not be. It's not only crime. It's not only crime. Security breaches. They use it also, because, like on my phone, I have the one I use this when I'm at work. So what you just need to do is make a report. Once you make your report online, it goes to the central police, and they come around within a few minutes. They come around. So it is majorly used to report crimes, to report security breaches.
Okay, yes, this one now, because we're in Ogun State, and of course this is a particular matter, we should also consider what this state government has done in terms of, because to an extent, Ogun State has been adjudged the most peaceful state in Nigeria. So let's now talk about what this government has done. We have one internal security, yes, local community policing, where the adoption of Amotekun, that is in the southwest region. We have Amotekun, state Amotekun commandant, who has spoken to us on the better way to handle security matters in Nigeria. Yes, he spoke at length, and we have him
especially in the southwest.
Yes, especially in the southwest. So let's quickly take Brigadier General Alade Adedigba. He spoke about the essence of technology and the administration, what we have done in Ogun State so far.
There's no doubt about the fact that there are a lot of security challenges, and the government is doing its best possible, especially for us in Ogun State. Our amiable Governor, His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun, CON, is supporting all security agencies as much as possible, both in terms of logistics, operational vehicles, and what have you, to ensure that the people of the state can sleep with their eyes closed. Having said that, technology has its own place, has its own role to play, not only in Ogun State or in Nigeria. However, personal security is very key. If you look at the incessant issues of kidnapping, killings, courtesy, and all that, if we are at the right place at the right time, if we protect ourselves, if we are where we are supposed to be at the right place, at the right time, most of these things will be highly minimized. But most times, we move around unprotected, under cover of darkness, and this is what the evildoers or criminals, this is what they use to commit crime or havoc. So it's only if we're able to start with, ensure or enhance our individual, security, then the technology will have a place. But if we have technology in place and we are still careless, or they're not being put into right place, right use rather, it will amount to nothing. Look at before now. Issue of CCTV in hotels was not really being taken seriously by hoteliers. But I think it was about 8 to 10 years ago, during the case of Okosogo in Lagos, in Mile 2, the killing of that lady that traveled from Abuja, a copper then, to Lagos. It was then that hoteliers or those in tourism industry believe that they need to take issue of installation of CCTV in their various hotels very seriously. Now that has upgraded, not from hotels now into our personal homes. I'm sure most of us have CCTV installed on our phones. I'm in Abeokuta. My house may be in Lagos or it may be in Abuja. You see somebody now monitor. If somebody open my door now, maybe you get to know that somebody has entered the house. Then you can call your neighbor or call the estate police or security agencies to come into place. So that is CCTV as simple as it is. So it has even gone to that level. So, but if it's not been put into right use, it will still not achieve its aim. Now, bring it to a broader security challenges. Now, we have 20 local governments, in Ogun State, for example, and we have our coordinators in all the local governments. The expanse, the land in Ogun State. Can we be everywhere? Of course not. So technology becomes the veritable tool for us to use in ensuring that we have real-time information that can be processed to intelligence for us to take action. It means we need a lot of technological equipment need to be incorporated into our day-to-day activities.
Glad to have you join us again. And that was Brigadier General retired Adetiba. He's talking about exploring emerging security technologies. Yes, you heard him say Ogun State is a state with 20 local governments, and if care is not taken, personnel will not be able to see or get to the core, part of the states to see what the security problem is. But of course, technology can help us achieve this. Yes, to our guest in the studio, you spoke a lot about in London, this is what we do here, we go through training. Can't this be done also in our country? We were talking about technology. It is a way of combating problems surrounding us in terms of security, and we're looking for ways to combat this. Don't you think this also should also be adopted in a country like Nigeria, where we have variety of security challenges?
Yes, it can be done, but the process to start is because I keep saying something that the foundation of everything matters. So, there's something we call DBS, Disclosure Barring System. So DBS stands like a background check. Like the Brigadier General said something like, before we talk about the technologies that security personnel need to improve. So first of all, I would advise that every security personnel, either it is in Nigerian police or Nigerian army, should first, before they are employed, they should first go through DBS. That's a proper security check. To first of all check if some of these personnel does not have criminal records, to check if some of them don't have mental issues. I've read in news that there are a lot of uniformed personnel pulling triggers on innocent people. This is where the checks comes in, because if, I mean, a security personnel is not mentally balanced, issues like this, I mean, because if you're having somebody who is protecting lives and properties and is not mentally balanced, or he has criminal records, then of course,
the result is zero.
Exactly. Then also we have an issue where internal security, we have issues where even staffs, they leak out informations, they leak out secrets to people. So that was why I talked about the biometric access, the security officers. That's why, like, for being a coordinator or a supervisor, on a regular basis, you need to check activities of every security personnel. That is when you'll be able to tell if you have good hands or you don't have good hands. So first of all, it has to start with the security personnel that you have. Then once you are sure these hands are capable, then you can move forward from there.
Okay. Talking about the training, because you were saying that over there they trained the security personnel from time to time. Talking about training, I know that here they train too. There is a particular period where each security agencies spend even before they start practicing, and they teach them a lot of things. Now, this kind of training that they give over there, can this still be given to our security agencies? And also talking about the equipment, because the commander was saying that we need the equipment here. Talking about the equipment, you said something about government and private partnership. How can we also have this equipment in Nigeria so that our security can be more versatile?
Okay, so let me first of all answer that of the training. Yes, the training can be done anywhere because it is just online.
Okay.
So it can be done anywhere. The only thing is every individual, like every security personnel, will just need to create time to go through the courses, do your exam and pass. We have physical training also, that you have to do it where we have a CCTV. The CCTV will record how you do it, and they will send it to the SIA office.
Oh.
Do you understand? So it can be, it does not mean that you have to send them to abroad to do it. No, it can be done from your comfort zone here.
Okay.
You understand?
I'm sure, like during Sola said, I know Nigerian government is not also sitting down somewhere and say that, they are not treating it with a kid gloves. I'm talking about training of security officers, because recently there are a lot of achievements that we can talk about in terms of the activities of our security operatives, talking about being able to get hold of through intelligent gathering, they're able to apprehend so much more in terms of the criminals in our society. Especially recently, we're talking about ritual killings. They do also technologically able to achieve all of these things. Tracking of phone device, through that they're able to see who the last caller was and who was the last person the victim related with, and at the end of the day that has helped a great deal. So, but of course my question now is, when you want to give an overall assessment of countries where technology is adopted fully, we're talking about, it's a matter of say Nigeria is doing it, but we can still score 50% for the country. But of course there are countries that when you look at it today, technology takes like 80% of the achievement in terms of security. So when you want to do overall assessment, what do you think how do you see the progress of countries where technology is adopted fully, and other parts, because you have been out of the country for a very long time, of course, and you read news.
Okay, in Ogun State, I will really say this. Personally, I commend the government of Ogun State, because yes, like I said, I read a lot of news, like the ritual killing that you gave as an example. Yes, I've read so many on news. In fact, there was a recent one where I think it was on a New Year day when couples were burnt in the house, you know. I was so glad when I saw the news that they apprehended the culprit, you know. And I am sure they were only able to do this with the use of technology. So for me, I think Ogun State government, they really tried in the aspect of, advanced technology to combat crime. Now, rating countries, you know, I've not been to everywhere. I've only been to a few countries. But from the little experience that I have, I think Canada is they still have their technology when it comes to crime combating is still the highest. Yes, in London, we are trying, but it does not mean that there are no crimes in London. Okay. Yeah, there are crimes in London. The only thing is we try to curb it, we try to apprehend them. Do you understand? Like me, for example, or any of my security guards, once we apprehend any criminal, we hand them over to the police. There's nothing we can do because we don't have the right to arrest. Okay. We don't have the right. Okay, talking about
Nigeria, do you see us getting to the level of Canada anytime soon?
It might take time, but I know we'll get there. Because if you commit a crime in Ogun State and within few hours, the criminals, the Ogun State government can apprehend them, it gives a sign that we are getting there. And of course, I am very, very sure that we'll get there.
Talking about preventing crime in the society, the crew, roundtable crew, they went out and conduct a kind of interview for the Commander Ige. That is one of the commander that we have in the NCDC, I think. So he spoke about the preventive measures, especially in schools. You know, when you are in school, your children are in school, you are not there, so you don't know what is going on. So he spoke about some preventive measures. Let's just listen to what he says.
States and in Nigeria as a whole. Yes, we need all those technologies. We need them, and we need them not just to have them in their offices, but for them to be active and be working. And we thank God for the support of the governor of Ogun State, especially for all security agencies, especially Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. He's been trying his best, but like you know, our Oliver Twist, we always ask for more. Recently, you will see that you will see helicopter going around and all of that. So there's helicopter already. It's just that each services cannot get it for now. Also, the CCTV camera is everywhere. You will see street lights everywhere. There's solar now that can at least work with the CCTV camera. And that is what we have been using for some time to combat this crime, especially in the area of critical national assets and infrastructure, where manholes and all the street lights and some other pipeline vandals are being arrested because of this CCTV camera and all of that. So we have them and we are making use of them. We are just asking for more technology that will help us to do it more and do it better for us.
Okay, you're welcome back. That was the NSCDC State Commandant, and her name is Milekun Ekundayo Molade. So she has been able to establish some facts there and how we can also prevent crime. Coming to my guest this morning, how do you think that we can, I know we are trying, especially here in Ogun State, but where do you think we can still level up with some other places?
Okay, I think with the level Ogun State is going now, it is both the security personnel, they need more training on. Because like she talked about vandals now, pipeline vandals, you know. Pipeline vandals, that's what they need more on that, in that aspect is manpower. Do you understand? Because yeah, that's what they need more. So What they need is more security personnel with experience. So with that, they'll be able to prevent although drones can also work, but then even if you are using drones, you will still need security personnel to also prevent most of these things, because most people might not know there are drones around. But with once they see security personnel around, they will try as much as possible to avoid that area.
You keep mentioning drones. Can you just tell people what this does? Okay,
drone is just used for surveillance. It moves around, because the truth of the matter is, when it comes to security, there are 3 P's that we protect. That's the people, the premises, and the properties. So in most cases, we use drones for surveillance, because drones moves around, it surveys the environment, the buildings, and if there are anything, they alert the control room.
Okay, these gadgets we are talking about drones, the use of drones, the use of CCTV camera, and there's a particular one you mentioned, that is the one you said the security operatives do wear, maybe one camera and all of that. This comes very, very expensive. And you also spoke about partnering with private companies to help government achieve this. But in most homes, let me say in Nigeria, people actually going all out to spend fortunes in getting themselves secure. You see most homes mounting CCTV cameras in their home. In what way do you think government can make this available? Yes, we're talking about Ogun State. Ogun State has done well. Ogun State is scoring at least above average in terms of how secure the state is. But then, talking generally, what do you think can be done to achieve this?
Okay, CCTV is actually very expensive. That I know, it's very, very expensive. And it's not possible for the government to fix CCTV in every individual's home. So that's why I would keep saying that what we need to do, even in London, the UK government will not fix CCTV everywhere for you. What it does is, mostly it is the private establishment that join hands with the government to do most of this. Most of these installations. So what I would advise is for private philanthropists, to join hands with Ogun State government, to provide more of these advanced technologies so as to curb crimes.
Thank you so much for that, response, and it's been very nice having you in the studio. We've had a lot to talk about in terms of exploring emerging security technologies to combat crimes and insecurity. Yes, this time also the crew were out again. This time around it is to schools. Yes, we're talking about crime prevention, and it starts from schools. Sometimes the students, children of school age are also found wanting when it comes to crime rates nowadays. And of course, we had National School Crime Preventive Corps, Commander Ige, who also spoke about the effort, especially here in Ogun State. I said it earlier that Ogun State is not treating security matter with kid love at all. So we have NSCDC working, we have the school preventive, crime preventive also doing theirs, and their Moteko is not leaving any stone unturned. So let's listen to Commander Ige, what he says about their efforts across schools.
Putting in place technology inserting technology into security will go a long way. Look at the developed country, developed nations. They have been into that for many years in the past. We are just coming up. For example, now, if you put, let's look, for example, now, putting up CCTV in all the junction. So it's going to reduce even the work of the police. We don't pray should in case there's an accident or there's even theft or anything, they just go and look into the CCTV and look at what has happened. Look at the school, for example, now, whereby we are a little bit professional as far as school issue is concerned. If you put a CCTV into schools, it will reduce the violence of these children, because you can capture it, you can go back, you can reverse it, you can see a lot of things. So when it comes to the issue of putting or adding security measure, technological measures into security, it goes a long way, and it will.
Yes, glad to have you back. And this security we're talking about also, we heard Commander Ige talking there. It also comes with its own challenges, and talking about, you know, when you have a CCTV installed, there are times I've heard people say we could not check it because of maybe power failure or electricity, no electricity supply as at the time.
It could also be tampered with.
It could also be tampered with. So how do we ensure that these are taken care of? Or you do know it comes with challenges too?
Okay, for the CCTV, we have the old CCTV, we have the new CCTV.
Okay.
Then there's a way we upgrade CCTV. I think it's every 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. We advise most firms that has the old CCTV to upgrade to the new one. I used to work in a site where we have the old CCTV. The funny thing is, yes, it will capture crimes, it will capture whatever you want it to capture, but the view is not going to be clear. But if you have the new CCTV upgraded, it will give you what you want. You know, you'll be able to see the clearer picture of the face of, anything you want to see. He said something about if you can install CCTV on every street. That's not possible, because you don't buy CCTV 100,000, 200,000. It's very, very expensive. Yeah, I agree if it can be installed in schools. If school management can, acquire it and put it in school, that's fine. But put it on every street is not possible. Then another thing I want to say about this child school crime and all is sensitization. This helps a lot. When you go to schools, you talk to them, you talk to the pupils, you open their knowledge. They tend to change. Then when they know that, oh, there is a technology monitoring activities around, they themselves, they will limit the way they fight or they commit crime.
Well, that is the essence of this program, the Roundtable. Of course, I'm hearing for the first time that there is new and there is old CCTV. And I'm sure the installer will also say that
so
she's hearing for the first
too.
time. I'm surprised too. But of course, it's about advancement in technology. It's about embracing it totally and for the good of all of us. And that's the size of the program today. Join us again next week. My name is Murenikeji Shobaloju. For me, bye-bye, Doinsola.
Well, it's bye-bye from me too, but I just want to say that as you go on this week, make sure you are security cautious.